The Guyana Power and Light, GPL, is Guyana's main electricity company. For years, the company has been trying to keep up with the growing electricity demand, and now that situation is more challenging because there are a number of new large consumers on the grid. This is according to President Dr. Irfaan Ali, who explained that the government's decision to subsidize electricity at a cost of about $100 million attracted consumers that were not on the grid before.
What we found was that a number of the large customers who were self-generating, who invested in self-generation, came back to the grid. Because coming back to the grid with a level of subsidy would have saved them at least $9 per kilowatt. Now we have no problem with this. Because at the end of the day, as we increase our capacity and we want to bring down the cost of energy by half, we want as much person to enjoy this benefit on the grid. However, what has occurred because of the fast pace of growth is that the move by private consumers has driven up peak demand now to 185 megawatts, from 110 megawatts in 2020 to 185 megawatts. That is what peak demand is at now. And the peak demand occurs between 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. every day and 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. in the night. So this is the current circumstance that we are faced with at GPL.
Because of the increased demand beyond what GPL can currently supply, the government is moving to source additional power.
So we've invested in having another close to 30 megawatt of additional power to come into the system. We are hoping to have this additional power to come into the system by mid-December. That will take care of the rising demand at peak and ensure that we don't have the challenges of the outages we have now.
Meanwhile, Dr. Ali reminded the public that his government had long been an advocate for diversifying the local energy source. Instead of relying solely on diesel-powered energy generation from GPL, the Amaila Falls Hydropower Project and the Wales Gas Energy Project were being pursued.
We're investing heavily in getting the gas-to-energy project completed, and that gas-to-energy project would allow us to build that additional capacity, and we're also moving swiftly ahead with the Amaila Falls project that would give us the capacity to deal with the growth and the projected growth, which I think would in the immediate term double in terms of demand as more and more persons come on the grid. And as we get to the point where we'll cut the cost of energy by half, this will be the scenario.
In the meantime, the large consumers will face a minimal tax during peak hours as the government hopes to encourage them to return to self-generating power. Reporting for the newsroom, Vishani Raghabir.